everyone, and welcome to our first week in review for the Household Kickstarter campaign. My name is Elena. I am joined today by Guilherme Goulart, the game's producer, whom you have not met last time. You weren't here the first live stream, right?
I wasn't here. Hello, everyone. My name is Guilherme Goulart. I'm the producer for Household. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you all for joining.
Yeah. You might be missing some key figures for the campaign. In this case, the designers themselves. And well, they're not actually missing. They are here, and they're just really busy. But let's talk to them really fast before we start actually reviewing our week, shall we?
Yeah, let's try to
Hello.
get our correspondents.
Yes, that's true. Our international correspondents directly from Italy. Hello, guys. Oh, can you hear us? Hello. Hi there. Can you hear us? I'm not sure they can hear us. And we cannot hear them. At least I can't.
Let's leave and trying. So they are at Play Modena. They're there for a convention today.
Yes, they were just telling us it's the first convention without the first maskless convention in Italy ever since the pandemic began. It's a really emotional moment for everyone to see everyone's full face again. And they left. Okay.
We can maybe try again later. So they're in the convention floor right now. It's about 7 something p.m. there where they are. As we go through, we'll keep trying.
Yeah. Oddly enough, we talked to them right before this started, and we could hear them. Well, just internet things, I guess. Well, we tried. So, Guilherme, it's just me and you today, I guess.
All right, let's do it.
How has your week been?
It's been great. It was a very exciting launch. It's amazing to see all the support and the love that people have for Household. It's exciting that it is a very unique setting and people are appreciating it for the art, for the lore, for the writing, and just how different this is. I'm a big RPG fan. I game often, and just even for myself when I got involved in the project, it already feels very different, very special. It was a lot of fun to get to play with them, and of course to participate in the production.
Yeah. This is our first Kickstarter campaign that, like, we had Zombicide Chronicles, which was an RPG in the Zombicide Second Edition campaign, but this is our first campaign exclusively for an RPG.
Mhm.
Are you feeling it's different from what you're used to? Because maybe you don't know, maybe you guys who are watching us don't know that, but Guilherme runs a lot of our campaigns here at Simon, like for most of the board games he's involved. So he has a lot of experience on that front. But for RPGs,
Yeah,
only as a player.
it's definitely a different crowd. Then they're looking for different things in the game, right? Because the context, how board games and RPGs are approached, and what kind of rewards you want to see there. And we'll get to there in a second when we see the weekend review. But there's a lot more connected to the content that goes into the RPG. We want to make sure that when we're talking about expanding the content through funding and through goals, we're talking about adding more settings, more enemies, more contracts, right? We're talking about further pushing the boundaries of what you can do in the game, more than just physical rewards, right? And that's also why the campaign is structured around having rewards that simply expand the narrative and push the boundaries of what the game is, and some there are physical, tangible rewards that cater to part of the audience, right? So it's definitely a different crowd, and it's very refreshing, very fun to be able to talk to them and try to meet those needs, right? I hope you guys are appreciating. Please, also we read the feedback, so let us know in the comments whether here on the campaign, how things are going from your perspective. And so far, we are both the Rico, Simone, Daniela, all the team at 2LM, and ourselves. We have been very, very happy to see the reception so far. You guys are awesome.
Speaking of them, they are back. Shall we try again? Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi there. Here we are. Sorry for before we had a slightly technical inconvenience. Since we are here,
as you can see,
with just one phone inside the play here in Modena. It's a very big fun here in Italy. We just want to say hello to everyone.
Exciting week for you guys, huh? Kickstarter launch, then a convention.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to be here in Italy because this is our first convention since the pandemic,
Yes.
of course. So this is the first time we are all gathered, and we couldn't have missed it. So it's very. It's so much fun to be here because we are in the first live convention in Italy during the House of Kickstarter, and it's also Daniela's birthday today. So happy birthday to our
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Daniela. Daniela also didn't join us last time, so this is the face behind the art in the household, which you all, every time we post something, there are a bunch of comments. Who's the artist? Who drew that? Here she is.
Yeah, here she is.
Sorry, we need
So
to
it's-
translate for Daniela because we have just
We have
one
just
pair
two.
of
That's
like
also
in
Daniela can give you. And also we have here our translator because as you can see we are the Italian speaker. So we also have here Caterina to.
Hi there.
So thanks Caterina for translating all of Household to you.
Yeah, really cool. Well, thank you. I guess you have a lot to do. You seem to be in a very crowded room.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
This is
So
the-
you were
a tour of of the
Tour
club.
at Modena Play.
Yes,
yeah, exactly. It's pretty
an
crowded
interactive
here.
live tour.
We couldn't miss the play of Modena, and we couldn't miss the first live of this amazing Kickstarter. So we had to do both somehow.
Yes.
So we apologize for the mess.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We'll leave you to your convention and go back to our review of the Kickstarter, which you'll soon rejoin as soon as you're back. So
Yes, yeah, we will.
Thanks to all the backers, everyone who's listening. Thanks for supporting us, guys, for this campaign. That we are in the first 36 hours, I don't know, 48 hours.
48.
It's so very strange for us, but it's just the start, and we unlocked so many things. We are so thrilled to be here. So thank you, all of you, and we do apologize for the mess and the noise you are hearing.
Next week will be in the
Will be
weekend
easier.
review easier. Yes.
And also
From
thanks
our-
to you, Elena and Guy, for stepping up during this live session. Thanks, guys.
thank you. Have fun. See you all soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
And we're back. Our international correspondents went back to their international affairs. And we're just going to take over.
Why don't we start by looking at all the stuff we've seen already in the campaign? It's been a fun 36 plus hours. As
That
we
is true. So, we already revealed quite a lot. These have been very busy 36 hours, as Hiko said. So, of course, we start with the 3 books that are the base of the campaign, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a quick recap. Household Volume 1 has everything the players and the narrator needs. It's the core book of the game. That's the one that you can get on the Litling pledge if you want to get just that book on physically, and then everything else as a PDF. And the 3 books on their hardcover versions are the Mouse Rider Pledge, where you get all the books in physical form, as well as as well as the other physical rewards. And of course, the PDFs are included on all levels. You don't miss out on the digital versions. Then the Saga of the Fragile Piece, the book you see on the middle with the spider chasing the littlings, is the campaign. It handles the period of time between 2 big wars, so it's the Fragile Piece there. And then the Practical Guide for Living Inside the House is the book that basically expands all aspects of household, from from the enemies encountered to the places to the vocations. It expands and builds more on the setting.
Yeah. So the all three combined, I'm sure this is still in development, but it's a lot of content, right? How many pages should these have in total?
So combined, it's over 700 pages, right? So Household Volume 1 is about 300, and each of the other 2 are around 200 pages. I should say 200 plus, not around. So they're over 200 pages.
It's a lot of content. Well, and let's see what we added to that in the past few days. So we have two separate kinds of rewards: the digital and the physical. Can you give us a run through them?
Yeah, so we wanted to break this down as such because it means on the digital stretch goals, basically all the pledge levels get it, right? And we've identified those tags of G, L, M, meaning the house guest, littling, and mouse rider. And these are stretch goals for everyone in the campaign. They are being added to, some of them are added to the guide to live inside the house, such as the mysteries and the rooms. And some others will be added to the PDF packages. So the mysteries is something that I particularly find very exciting. They are a mixture of a story hook with new enemies, sometimes new contracts. It's sort of a plot hook that gives the narrators and players just enough information to get you working on a thematic adventure for that. We've unlocked 4 of those already, and that's just playing more content for the game. The kitchen is a brand new room to the house. So because the house is huge, right, and that's the whole setting for the littlings, each room of the house is actually akin to a new realm or new reign on other video games, or other role-playing games, where it's an entire new place with new areas to discover, new peoples who live there, and the kitchen is brand new to household from the get-go, right? We're also making available some maps so that you can definitely use that for to furnish your adventures. And one that I personally also think it's very cool, we are developing a soundtrack for Household. So the very first track was the track you guys can hear in the video trailer. We also made it available on YouTube. It's just something very cool to immerse you on a very specific, right, in this theme of the house, and with tracks composed to recall those places, different places, the battle scenes, and things like that.
It really helps an RPG session to have how can I say that, an overall feeling that's like a soundtrack to the movie you're playing in. Really cool. And of course, we have the physical stretch goals.
That's right. So those are the stretch goals connected to the Mouse Rider Pledge. So if you're getting Mouse Rider Pledge, which has all the 3 hardcover books, it also brings all the physical stretch goals. Those are, at least for now, the printed set of printed sheets, the decks of cards, and the maps, the physical maps to get there. The dice pouch is also part of the Littling Pledge, so that's why there's a little L there. So if you're getting Littling, you get the core book, you get the dice, and the nice dice pouch for it.
Really, really. I personally, I find everything about Household so adorable. I just love it all. I want everything.
Yeah.
Well, and of course, you might have noticed that there is one type of reward that we're not seeing here. Those are the miniatures.
That's right. So those are, of course, we wanted to bring physical plastic miniatures of the Littlings for all backers. We showed Litha Flamel here just prior to the campaign launch as an indication of things to come. So she is the sprite hunter. It's just a very special figure. I like how dynamic the base make the whole figure be, the way that she's interacting, coming through the mushrooms. Definitely one of the figures we wanted to showcase to people early on.
I saw a question coming through. Can we address it really quickly?
Yeah.
Will there be rules for playing with miniatures?
So there are no current plans for adding rules specific to miniatures. The miniatures are meant to enhance gameplay. They are not necessary for the RPG session, of course, just like miniatures in other tabletop playing games, or I should say in some. But there are no specific rules to them. They are meant and designed to enhance your experience.
Ooh. Well, so Lisa, we saw from day one. Lisa is part of the Mouse Rider pledge, right?
Yeah,
From the get-go. But of course, Lisa, where would Lisa be without her partner in crime / best friend, Tubo?
Tubo the Zlug soldier. So this is Tubo, of course, big, burly, Zlug, littling there. I particularly just love the way that he's projecting himself outside of the base, and we wanted to kind of be able to allow for that with the scenery. Also, very important to say that we are making these bases to be 25 millimeter round, so that fits most hex grid maps you can find on the market. We wanted to make sure that they are compatible if you guys want to do that. And their scale is about our Zombicide figure, so 32 millimeters to the eyes. Also, so free-form interplay for people who like to create their own set of rules and whatnot. It's all on that scale. And Tubo is also very special. It was one of the early figures as well because he's so massive and so he's both tall and bulky. He was really good for us for referencing Letha and the other figures, right? How big, how large, and how burly they can be.
Yeah. And there's one thing I really like about this figure, which is the fact that he's holding a bolt.
Yeah.
And that is basically the real size of a bolt.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's also something very cool, right? We say these are not miniatures; they are true scale figures because littlings are supposed to be about that big. They're meant to be about 32 millimeters. And as much as possible on the bases, we are trying elements to kind of enhance and immerse that experience of the scale of them.
Well, then up next is Achilles, the wild face soldier. So this is a little bit different from what we've seen so far because he was not a character we introduced before the campaign, and he's a wild face soldier. So what can you tell us about that?
So Achilles is a very special character for at least two reasons. One of them being that he was already a very special character on the very first edition of Household, which was available in Italy. And he was a promo character. You had to go to the convention. You had to jump through some hoops to get him. So he was already looked after. And when bringing him to Household, to this campaign, we wanted to make sure that he not only is there and increasing his accessibility, but he also brings a whole new vocation. So he brings the warrior vocation to the table. So you're getting a character, and you're also getting an evocation added to Household.
What are the vocations, and how are they different from the professions?
So vocations are essentially your specialization into a profession. Right? So he's bringing a new way to play a certain archetype.
Cool. Okay, then next we have Sienna.
Sienna Blackwell, the Bogart criminal. Yeah. So she is, I think, the one before the last that we've shown. And I just love how much like the whole theme with her is being able to break into things and to be very, very skilled at what she does. She's not only holding a set of littling size keys with her, of course, made by littlings, but we wanted to play with that and just place a regular sized house key close to her.
True. Yeah, another element that really brings to life the scale of these characters, right?
Yep.
And finally, I think the next one is the last one as well, right?
Correct. That's Pierre de la Croyance, the Fey Scholar. He's the last one that we've shown. We actually just unlocked him just prior to starting the live when we reached 160K. So he's a wise one. Like if you read over his bio, he was able to dodge military service on the account of his diplomatic skills and pulling his rank and title into it. And of course he brings the weight of his studies to the party, of course.
Okay. And that should
I love
bring
that.
us.
I love that the post goes, the contemplation,
Yeah. True. Also, great pronunciation on his name.
De la Croyance.
De la Croyance.
I don't even know if that's right.
I've been well, I'm sure that you have been too. I've been following the Kickstarter comment section, and apparently we have many French backers who are creating a French quartier at the comment, a whole new city in the house.
That is amazing. That's amazing. It's so cool to see people rallying over to Household, right? On the strength of its setting, of its art. It's really rewarding to see the excitement, and particularly when things like this happen, when people are banding together, whether that's a Discord server, whether that's somewhere physical to play the game. It's I think that's very rewarding for us as creators.
Well, yeah, one of them just joined us. Hello. An ambassador of Quartier Français
There you go.
is watching. Well, that should bring us to the present, right? Pierre is the last stretch goal we reviewed so far.
Correct.
So maybe it's time to start looking at the future.
I think you're right. I think we should look into what's ahead.
Yeah. And to that end, these guys might seem familiar to some of you who have been following closely. Well, they all are about to become miniatures.
That's right. We're bringing to you today a Kickstarter exclusive set of figures for 6 figures. There's spinning on the screen right now. They will be on the campaign after we finish the live, but we're very happy to bring you an optional buy for 6 more figures. Just as we spoke before, they are 25 millimeter base, around 32 millimeter tall. There we go. I was like, can we see that again? So they are Ernest, Kamar, and we'll see them. Don't worry, we'll see them in more detail.
Yeah.
After the video.
Jocelyn, Malika, and
Floyd and Timothy, of course.
Yeah, so that last one has an Easter egg because it's not a figure for just one character. Some people are excited at seeing what I assume is their favorites. Let's take a closer look. Starting with Ernest.
That's right. So this is one of the things that when I got involved in project, I started working at first was, of course, the figures for Household, because as we all know, plastic production takes a long time. And so we started working on these characters that are the set for, they're the protagonists for the Saga of the Fragile Piece. Ernest Gilmore here is a Bogart duelist, as you can see there. One of the things we wanted to make sure we got it right is, of course, his attitude, the way he carries himself, the way he's holding himself very confidently there, very sure of himself. And in order to play with the scale that we wanted to do, you can see like pencil shreds just around him, kind of also making a note there of the sharpness of his scissor and his skills.
Really cool. I think this is the first figure we have for Duelist.
Yeah.
So that's different too. That's cool.
Just the hand in the pocket, very casually, just saying, I'm just here to slay spiders.
Casually slaying beasts. Well, moving on, Kamar.
Yeah, this is Kamar Halabi. This is Luwag Hunter. She plays a big part also in the story. Of course, we won't spoil the saga of the fragile piece here, but what we wanted to play with her is more of this mechanical aspects of the basement. So you can see there the cogs, some buttons, some shreds there at the base, and make sure that she was conveyed standing on top of that. Very very proud and holding her keys cut there.
Really cool cape. I'm a big fan of capes in minis. I think they add a lot of flair, and they're really small, and it just gives them a lot of presence. I really like that.
This cape was tricky to get you because um, the art suggests even like the ends of it uh, torn in a way that doesn't really physically work. So we had to find ways to make sure that the curves, the lines, and even the fragments and the shreds you see there to make sure that the idea is well conveyed and well translated into plastic.
Really cool. Well, and moving on to I how do you comment section help us out? How do you pronounce this? Is it Ira? I'm assuming it's Ira.
I think English speakers will say Ira and Italian speakers will say Ira. I think.
Okay.
But Ira Poo, yeah, the sprite soldier. I saw someone there on the comments also say Ira Poo. he's a sprite. There you go, Ira.
Ira.
Um,
Okay.
and to me personally, I just love how the base also kind of works to give him his pose, right? The way that he's standing with the knee there, just kind of really feeling his weight in. And of course, his weapon is a spoon, and just getting the coins there, getting that stack there, kind of making that interesting silhouette, something that it was very, very cool to work on for him.
Yeah, that's a really cool base.
That facial expression, though, he's all about business.
True. And he incredible. I'm sure that has a name. Swisses, incredible Swisses. Is that how it's called in English? Like the mustache that just connects to the rest of the hair.
Yeah.
Amazing, spot on, perfect, Ira. Thank you so much. Amazing. 10/10 facial hair. Up next, another tricky one. Since the last name is French, I'm assuming it's Jocelyn, or are we saying Jocelyn?
I've been saying Jocelyn Bonheur.
Okay.
She's our fake criminal. As you can see, she has a devilish smile expression on her face. She's just a joy. She was amazing to work with because of all the intricate details of the rose petals and the fabrics around her. Her corset is very, very detailed as well. And of course, she has that mixture of she's delicate, but she's also deadly. You can see the little bag of poison in her hand, and all the elements around her. Yep.
Really cool clothes because it's so theatrical, which is part of her character, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Up next, now this might be my favorite miniature in the set. I really like this one. So cool.
Man, I hear you. She's just so good to work on. Right, there's so many layers to how Malaika is designed, from from even the details on hat and hair, to the cape she's wearing, the underskirt, high heels, right, and then even down to like the very last details we were working on this one were actually the items on her bag, right, because they have to. There's enough geometry they have to be able to identify the bottles and vials inside, as well as on top of the mushrooms. They have to be large enough to be produced and reproduced well in plastic. There's a lot of levels to getting this figure right, and I'm very very happy with how she turned out. Like the way she reads the silhouette is also very very cool.
Yeah, really cool character.
Plus, Plague Doctor mask can go wrong, right? So,
the whole look is just so cool because it's, as you said, it's the coat and the Plague Doctor mask and the high heels and everything, just various different elements make up a very unique character design. Yeah, and I think this is the last one and probably the one everyone has been waiting to see.
Yay!
Yay!
Floyd and Timothy, of course, I think our first animal handler we've seen, Bogart animal handler.
True.
Yeah. So I like the vibes that Floyd gives. very chill, very calm. Of course, he's an animal handler, which means these are the litlings that breed animals for littling life. So Timothy there is just a very young mouse. And one thing that's cool also to say is that that the size that we see him right now next to Floyd is Timothy very very young. And during the saga of the Fragile Piece, which takes part over around 5 years time, you get to follow his growth, right? You get to follow his growth up until full size of mouse that littlings used to ride and whatnot. So it's a very cool thing to follow those two.
it's a it's a is there a specific name for a mouse puppy? It's a mouse puppy.
You got me there.
Not sure.
Yeah.
Mice. Now we need bumblebees. Bumblebees are just so beloved by the household community.
Yeah, just like Jocelyn, they're a mix of cute and deadly, right?
Exactly.
How not to love them?
Or as was said in this very same chat, let's see if I can find the comment. Oh, here it is. Cute but psycho.
Cute
That's
but
it.
psycho, yes. That stinger when you're littling size, that thing is mean.
True. That's well. When can we expect these beauties to hit the campaign?
So we will post an update shortly after we finish the campaign.
The campaign.
Sorry, the live. Shortly after the live, we're gonna post an update. All the details will be there. You'll be able to see the art, read the bios, see the miniatures, and then we'll add the item as an add-on of the campaign. So you guys will be able to go and add it to your pledges.
And it's only the third day of the campaign. Still, what, 10 days to go? 11 days to go?
Yeah.
What
Yep.
other cards are you holding up your sleeve, Guile, for these last 10 days?
I can assure you there's a lot of exciting stuff, right? It's how, it's all about pacing and making sure that everything there's content to keep you guys entertained and happy for the duration of the campaign. So while we've seen a lot of cool stuff, there's a lot more to come. That's for sure.
Now, I think Guile probably needs to go really soon to manage the Kickstarter. But just as a final reminder, if you guys follow through and you are interested but you're not sure, we have the Quick Start rules available. Guile, can you talk a little bit more?
Absolutely, that's a very good reminder. I see some questions, some people sometimes asking where they can find the sheets, character sheets. Where can they find more information about dice and whatnot? So the Quick Start guide is already freely available to everyone. You can find it on the front page of the campaign. It is a hefty Quick Start guide. There's around 100 pages or so there. You find there not only information on the setting and the places and the folks, but you also how to play rules and pre-generated characters, 6 of them, and the Pride and Prejudice and Centipedes, which is a freely available mission. There's plenty of content there. You guys can just download and play and get a very, very good feel for how Household plays.
The link will probably, let's see, we can probably, yes, there it is. It's in the comment section. The link to the Quick Start guys. You can just go there directly and start preparing for your one-shot scenario right now. And before we end, just one final question. How many mysteries do we have to achieve? That sounds like a mystery.
Yeah, it's one of those like, I don't want to ruin surprises. It's only day 3. There are more to come. I think that's there's more because mysteries provide a lot of just raw creative content that we can bring into expanding enemies, contracts, places. So there's more to come. Let's not get into particular numbers just yet.
Well, the first mystery is this exact mystery. So just keep watching.
I saw one. Sorry to interrupt you. I saw one interesting question there from the chat that says, "Are these minis going to be add-ons or offered as stretch goals?"
Yes, here it
So
is.
these miniature set that we showed today here, those are an add-on that we're going to make available soon. They're the initial four that we showed on the live. Those are stretch goals. So some of them are stretch goals. Some of them are offered as add-ons.
Well, I think that's the time we have for today. Thank you for joining me, and thank you all for joining us. Next week, we should have our second week in review, hopefully with the designer. So if you guys have specific design questions, they will be happy to help you. And I guess I'll see you really soon, Gaio.
All right, I'll see you soon. Thank you, everyone. Have a
Thank
good day.
you. Have a good day and bye.